What's up, everybody? Sweaty Zeus here, continuing our playthrough of Elden Ring, and I did forget something, so I wanted to make a real quick impromptu video here, making sure I cover this before we get any further in the game, so you don't make the mistake um, that I made my first playthrough, and realized this once I got to Liurnia and a little farther, and went back and worked with some of the quests at the beginning area. You'll see what I mean here shortly. I started recording. This is going to be like a maybe 10-minute video at the most. I started recording this earlier, and we had a tornado hit here, and my power went out. So that was interesting. I said, I was streaming, and I came on and said, "Hey, I'm going to pause the game real quick," as I heard what sounded like a freight train in the street. And sure enough, we had a tornado touchdown a few miles away. So we started over at the, I was hoping to pull my map up here, but okay. We started over at Academy Gate Town, which we grabbed earlier when we came up here. If you remember in the last video, if you hadn't seen it, and now it's starting to storm again. But I'm going to stick this between two earlier videos. We came up here and went over into Caelid to get each class a starting weapon. So you've got, a real big advantage coming into the game, especially for, beginners that are looking for any type of leg up they can get to get started in the PvE experience of the game. But I wanted to make sure I noted this because when I was playing through the first time, I would find, prayer books and spell scrolls, and I would take them to Selin, and there it is. This is what I was looking for. Flame Cleanse Me. Be sure to grab that. This is where we are right here. That's a really good, really good incantation because it'll clear Scarlet Rot and if you're poisoned. So, anyways, I was given my books to Selin, and in her quest, at some point she leaves, and then depending on what you do, another point she dies. So that's probably not the best place. I mean, if you want to buy every single spell she's got, and get them all right off the bat, then I guess you'd be all right. But I'd rather take them somewhere where I know they're gonna stay, and that was the point of this video. So if you play all the way to the end of the academy in this area, which is kind of like the final, it's supposed to be like the climactic, dungeon for the area. You'll hit a teleport gate that'll bring you here to the Church of Vows, and this is Muriel, our new friend, the Popat turtle. So we're again right here. There's like a plateau. If you come up here, you can get at it this way. It's a lot more difficult though. This is a lot more hilly, and there's a lot of those horned guys that are underground that I'm sure you're annoyed with, and they're crazy sniper laser bows. But if you just come through here, Eastern Laramie Lake Shore, you can grab that incantation that's key to getting through some areas in the game, make it so much easier, and then come right up here. Now what's cool about this NPC is he takes scrolls and prayer books, and he will not move from the spot for the remainder of the game. In fact, he never moves. He's here before we get here too. So he's the perfect place to bring any type of book you find throughout the play area. So we'll talk to him and give him whatever we found so far. He'll ask you if you know about this church, what its purpose is, some of the figures that are in the lore got married here and, started the lineage of the demigods or whatever. Anyways, you can go here to give a scroll. So we'll give the royal house scroll, and he'll tell you something, and now those spells are available, and we gave him the other one as well there when I was trying to click through the menus. I guess I didn't grab the incantation book. I thought I did. There's one in Stormvale. We haven't gone there completely yet. So if you see, we can go to study sorcery or incantations with him. Just makes it convenient to have it all in one place. I'll go over a few of these while we're here too, and just make this kind of like a, faith and glintstone. Just quick overview for the beginning of the game. We'll start here. This is going to be your bread and butter if you're playing as a mage. No, I'm sorry, that's Swift Glintstone Shard. Glintstone Shard is really, really good. Some people prefer this one. This one, your character is stationary when you cast. When you fire Glintstone Shard, your character will kind of walk so you can back up or approach. That one, he'll stop dead in his tracks, and it will come out faster. And I don't think it tracks either. It tracks initially, but it doesn't. It won't curve with the person as they're running or whatever. Also, Torrent will stop if you're riding him and shooting it. So I don't like it. Some people for PvP think it's a benefit, but I'm not a fan. A Great Glintstone Shard is going to be an upgrade for that, so just more damage, costs over twice as much. So that's when you're, I guess, useful for when you're in a battle and you're worried about taking an enemy down before they can take you down and not necessarily conserving your FP. You'll get, this isn't the biggest one. There's, I think, one more, or there might be one in between. I can't remember. But then you also have Comet at the end, which is like, you got to be like level 60, I think, for it. And that will be, once you get that, I recommend you use like Glintstone Shard and then have Comet for, like bosses and stuff. Magic Glint Blade, this is one I was talking about. It's the starter cast for the Prisoner, which is like creates a sigil, forms a projectile. Basically, like I said, the sigil, it's like a little mine almost that you leave, and it sits there, and it's on like a couple second delay, and then it'll shoot a dagger, like a magic dagger out towards the enemy that you're locked onto. What's cool about it is, you know, if you're shooting shards at them, they'll dodge. But this one, you can set several of them and then start firing these at them, and then they're rolling to avoid these, and these will be hitting them in the back, and you can kind of run in different directions to set them up. But you'll see what I'm saying when you start using it. Glint blade phalanx forms 5 glint blades around you, and they just hover there until you acquire a target and get within a certain range, and then they'll fire off and home in on them, just like Pebble. Carrion Slicer is the shit. Like if you're gonna play, it's like Spellblade and not just do range magic. Like this you gotta get. It's 4 FP, right? It uses 1 slot. It only takes 14 int. It scales really well. And it basically is a really fast melee move with decent reach on it. Probably about the reach of like a, not quite a great sword, but one of the longer, probably one of the longer long swords. And it'll basically be like like almost like a lightsaber, but it'll be like 1 swipe, and then if you keep hitting it, you'll combo back and forth, swiping left and right. And basically, your character will swipe their staff, and out of the end of it will kind of like an energy sword, kind of like in the picture. This is really cool. You can get up under bosses, the ones that you kind of get in under their legs and just spam it, and it'll just like nuke their health bar so fast. Some of them, and there's different buffs you can use that increase that more, and then there's staffs that boost that even more too. So this, when I was playing as a mage, I would use this like as my uh, like race to wipe out the health bar of the enemy when when I'm low on health and I need to get in there and just do as much damage as I can before the next time I get hit. Or you can almost trade with some of the bosses with this. It does so much damage. Not that I'd ever recommend that, but you almost could. And then this one is one you might have seen in the trailer. Basically, you'll well, this one's a slash. The other one's overhead. That's probably what you saw. But this one, you do like a giant horizontal slash with like a big 7 foot energy sword, just like this one. But you'll do a big horizontal AOE. If you went through the Celia town in Caelid earlier, when we were over there, I don't think we went through it, but if you go over there, there's a lot of those invisible mages. They use this a lot. So you might have seen it over there. Like if it looks like they pull out like a giant energy sword. We don't have a lot of incantations yet, but this one's grants blessing to self and nearby enemies. Gradually restores HP, and it's pretty cool. I mean, but nothing to write home about. 24 faith. You can ask about Radagon. So that's pretty much it. Run over there and grab the needle, which allows you to work on like I guess adjust or alter like more high end. I guess like the boss armor and some of the like legendary armors you'll find and stuff, and that allows you to work on those instead of just like the basic bitch boy armor that you start with. So let me see if there's anything else over here I can think of while we're here. Also, there's another tunnel right here if you want to go ahead and explore any. That'll take you to another underground area, which we haven't seen any of it yet. We earlier, if you remember, we went down in Siofra over here in Siofra Well, which was in Mistwood, and then we unlocked an area all the way over here to Caelid, which we didn't have the stone swords for at the time, which will bring you up right here. What's cool about this one is it'll allow us to access this canyon, and then there's going to be a really, really good talisman we can get right here once we do that. And I've got a trick to, normally you have to fight like 3 invaders by yourself, one at a time. But there's a little bit, of cheese for that, and a video I saw online by a guy. Sorry, I can't remember his name, or I'd definitely shout you out. Where we can kind of cheese that, and I'll show that to you in one of the next few videos when we get to it. Also, just for other context, Red Band Castle's down here. If you want to see it, like, I recommend go ahead and do that before you finish with Liurnia and try to move on more up this way. You'll see here where this orange is, like I told you before, that means there's upgrade materials there. There's a couple more around here somewhere. But yeah, there's one here. And might be one. Yeah, there's one over here in Caelid. And anyways, my point being, if you journey up into this area, it'll change some story things that aren't reversible. And you'll be locked out of doing a few things until, I don't know if you can do it much, much later, but in my prior testing and playthrough, like, once I did that, like, I could never storm Redbane Castle for the rest of the game. It'll change to like a friendly area almost, and does away with all the items that you would find otherwise, and the boss encounter and all that's gone. So if you want to do red main, do it before you finish Liurnia, even though we're a ways away. Just wanted to kind of a housekeeping note there. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said, I just left this out, and I would have felt bad if you'd come down here and gave Sorcerer Stellan one of your scrolls you found when we were out searching for upgrades. Because if you maybe don't buy everything from her, and then she dies at one point, and then you can get her bell bearing at that point, which is, going to allow you to buy her stuff at the round table. But then you're getting mixed up what's where, and who's alive, who's not, where'd they move. Like I said, just come here, give everything to Muriel. He's a bro, anyways, so you can't go wrong with old Muriel. And that is it for this one. Other than that, like I said, be sure and grab flame cleanse me. I think it was. Let's look real quick. Don't have anything equipped. All right, so I'm mixing up my builds, and I was thinking I had faith. So flame cleanse me alleviates buildup and cures poison and scarlet rot. The scarlet rot, especially when we're running around in Caelid like we were earlier, and even more when we go in a couple of the dungeons. This is huge. Otherwise, there's only two ways to heal rot. One is this, and the other is crafting the item that clears your rot status. But then you're, reliant on finding the items, which I think a few of them are kind of difficult to find, and crafting them and all that. This you can just keep in your spell memory and then pull up at any time to clear. So it makes it a lot easier to deal with those areas. And Flame of Frenzy, you should know all about it at this point if you're Faith. We haven't found a lot of spells yet, but again, we're only just now starting to get close to finishing Limgrave. Anything else we did out here was just runs for um, swords and staffs and things like that I knew would be a gigantic upgrade for you at this point. Alright, so that'll do it. I appreciate you watching if you got this. So it looks like the tornadoes are over now. So hope it's safe where you are as well as we get through the spring of Elden Ring. Sorry, I'm just feeling a little goofy. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.